Yaragoto. My name is Alba Suarez. I am Program Coordinator for the Career Development Center, and I manage the Otago Mentor Match program. If you've landed on this video, it means you've probably signed up to the program this year. So once again, thank you so much for your generosity. If you're a mentor towards our students for your interest to engage with an alumni from the university to hopefully set you on a very successful transition into the workforce after completing your studies. So a little bit about the overview of what I'm going to cover. An overview of the program, what it entails, some things to keep in mind in terms of mentoring. I've also incorporated some workbook exercises that I developed for the handbook, and some frequently asked questions, and some contact details if you ever need to contact me. So, program overview. What is Otago Mentor Match? It's a direct pathway connecting soon-to-be graduates with Otago alumni. It's a great opportunity to share experiences, offer advice and insights into the industry that students are interested in. And like I said, to help in that transition into the workforce, to do so with more confidence and ease. The great thing about this program is that we work with Otago alumni. So students and mentors have that shared experience of being a student here at the university, and it provides a really solid foundation with which to build a mentorship relationship. What does it entail and how does it happen? Mentors and mentees are connected or matched on the areas of shared interest. So it can be what the program of study was, what the industry the mentor is working in, and the student has indicated that they're interested in, and all the other complementary information that's provided from participants through the registration forms. So once a match has been curated for you, you can connect. The indication is that we're expecting about 3 to 5 contact hours throughout the academic year. You can do that in 20-minute sessions, 30-minute sessions, hour-long sessions. It's really up to you to decide what works best. This is an indication, I know from participants last year, that engagement surpassed sometimes the 10 hours. So it's really up to the relationship that you build between mentors and mentees. How you communicate is also really flexible. It can happen through phone calls, video calls, emails, or chat threads if you link up through LinkedIn. And again, it's whatever's going to suit the mentors and mentees. And then once you do that, you can start collaborating, share your experiences, discuss the skill sets that the student wants to work on. What are some of the goals and the steps needed to get closer to those goals? Now, a little bit about mentorships. I think we can all agree the value that there are or is within mentorship relationships. It's a great opportunity to expand professional networks and relationships within your desired field, to develop important skill sets that will be required when entering the workforce, and really maximizing the mentor's lived experiences and how that can inform decision-making from students. Ultimately, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Both mentors and mentees will gain something from this. In terms of mentors, it's been reported that they experience greater career success and satisfaction, and mentees obviously have access to really valuable insider knowledge that can help them navigate the employment market. So into a little bit more detail, this is from the student's perspective. So what can a mentee hope to achieve? Through the support, encouragement of the mentor, as well as the constructive feedback that they can provide, and the different perspectives that their lived experience can provide as well. These are some of the things that we're hoping students can gain. So increased professional self-confidence and self-awareness, access to the mentor's accumulated knowledge and expertise, new insights into practices of particular industries, a sounding board for new ideas and working through challenges that a mentor might have experience in navigating those challenges and can provide tools or tips to the student to better manage that, acquiring skills and knowledge, enhancing career development opportunities. You never know what doors can open, and expanding networks, like I said, and increasing your visibility. In terms of the mentors, outcomes and benefits, will increase enthusiasm and self-esteem. You are engaging altruistically with students, you're volunteering your time. So that already says a lot about the type of person that you are. Engaging in mentorships can improve your communication and your coaching skills. It can help you reflect on your own practice, attitudes, and values when you're expressing that to others. You're also learning from the mentees' experience and knowledge. They are the future workforce, so they can also provide some insights. Expanded network of colleagues and future colleagues. Confidence in transferring skills and your accumulated knowledge, and satisfaction in supporting the development of students. That goes back to that altruistic behavior, and giving back to that student community to help them thrive, and hopefully lead them in a path of success, much like mentors will have gone through. So what are the elements that make effective mentorships? 3 pillars: trust, open communication, and setting expectations. In terms of the mentee, these are some of the attributes that we can hope to distill. Some key skills: active listening, super important. Open questioning, don't be afraid to ask questions. You don't know what you don't know. Reflection, being resourceful, having that empowerment to self-develop and set goals, hopefully in order to achieve them as well. Some characteristics: committed to the mentoring relationship and focused on attaining those goals. Being realistic about what the mentoring relationship can deliver and showing respect for your mentor's time and resources. Like I said before, mentors are volunteering their time, so that respect is super important. Having discussions about what you want to achieve from your mentorship and the type of guidance and support that would be helpful. I provide some guidelines onto this, which I'll go through in a moment. Prepared to be challenged, try new approaches, take risks, and follow through on tasks. Mentors do provide a myriad of perspectives that perhaps as a mentee you wouldn't have considered before. So be open and receptive to your mentor's experiences. Showing initiative and being receptive to the feedback and coaching that the mentor provides, and being on time for meetings and giving adequate notice if meetings are to be postponed. It's starting to work on those workplace ready skills that are so important to succeed in any workplace. So in terms of the mentor's attributes, some key skills: active listening, much like we mentioned with the mentees, it's super important. Building rapport, constructive feedback. Feedback should always be constructive. Encourage exploration, giving advice in terms of different strategies that students can adopt and alternative ways of thinking. Being committed to their own learning and development is also important, showing a genuine interest in the mentee's growth and development, which if you've signed up to be the program, you've already committed to that. Being objective, supportive, and honest, and really showing those good interpersonal skills that hopefully students will learn from. Being prepared to take initiative in raising problems and difficulties with the mentee. Encouraging critical thinking, decision-making, and problem-solving. Being aware that students do have different learning styles, so having that in mind, and being prepared to offer specific job-related skills, advice, or expertise. Now, a little bit about the timeline of the mentorship. In the initial stages, it's important to talk about what the expectations are for the mentorship and starting to set boundaries. So those are things like I mentioned before of what's enough notice time if you need to cancel or postpone a meeting. I'll also provide more information on that a little bit later on and in the handbook. Then once those expectations and boundaries are established, you can start to talk about what goals the mentee has in mind and what are some of the skills needed to work towards those goals. Then you can develop a plan of action and what are some of the steps involved. And then towards the end of the mentorship, you can reflect on your experience. What are some of the challenges you came across? What did you achieve? What's in the future following your mentorship? So, doing a little bit of research, particularly for students, of what they want to achieve from the mentorship is really important to bring into those initial conversations. So I've provided some examples here. Feel free to come up with your own. So what you want to achieve can be things like career development, to develop your skill set, expanding your networks, getting access to industry insights, understanding what organizational culture is in the particular organizations that mentors will be working in, enhancing work-life integration and transition. What was it like to go from being a student to full-time work? Yeah, like I said, there's ample space to bring your own goals to the table. And in reflection of that, what do you need in order to achieve this? So what are some of the things that your mentor can provide to help you achieve those goals? Things like expert knowledge, being a sounding board, providing some motivation, helping clarify your direction if you're still unsure as to what to do, learning skills to help you build and improve, someone who will believe in you and stick to your chosen path, inspiration, validation, sponsorship. There's also there's space for you to provide your own ideas to the table, like I said. And some guidelines as to what you can cover in your meetings. So in those initial meetings, it's really getting to know each other, exchanging information like what you studied, what some of your interests are, aspirations and values. And I put a couple of examples of things that you can discuss in those initial meetings, as well as ongoing meetings. So once you get the once you get the foundation there, then you can hit the ground running. So now that the goals have been established and expectations have been set, you can start to build and maintain that mentoring relationship and upkeep that commitment. And again, I put some examples there of things that you can cover in your meetings. These are guidelines, like I said. Feel free to explore and develop your mentorship with however feels best amongst the two of you. Some challenges. No relationship is perfect all the time. Hopefully it'll be a fruitful and positive one nonetheless. But if you do come across any challenges, know that it's okay, that there's ways to resolve conflicts. And if there's ever any doubts, always feel free to come to me and feel confident to come to me with any issues or concerns you might have. I've put some examples of what I've incorporated into the workbook. So these are those boundaries and expectations that I mentioned, both sections for students and mentors to fill in. And these are things that you can bring into your initial conversations, as well as mentoring agreements and defining those boundaries. So is there a set duration of meeting time that you'd rather establish from the beginning? What time of the day or what day of the week is going to be best to meet? Process for canceling, the nature of relationships. You have very formal and professional relationships to more informal and casual ones. Things that you can prepare ahead of meetings and how you're going to communicate. Again, these are not set in stone. They can adapt and change throughout the mentorship, but things to keep in mind nonetheless. I've also included diary entries, and that's free for the mentor to use as well as the student. So it's really there to help you keep track of your meetings, things like when the meeting happened, what kind of topics were discussed, what did you reflect from it, what are some of the next steps perhaps for your following meetings or actions that you need to take, any resources that your mentor might have suggested that you want to make a note of, or people and contacts as referrals that you also want to note down. And there's a number of those that you can utilize in the handbook. I also included some conversation starters if you want to break the ice on certain topics. Feel free to use those if you feel they're going to be useful. And some frequently asked questions. If there is a question that has not been captured here or not answered throughout this presentation, like I said before, always feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you, and I'm here to help you and be really there alongside you throughout this mentorship. So contact me if you need to. And these are the ways that you can contact me. I'm available through phone. I also have WhatsApp. I've got my regular email and the mentoring email. That'll probably be my suggestion of go-to, the mentor at Otago email, just so I can keep track of everything that's happening within the program. And if you wish to connect with me through LinkedIn, if we haven't already, please feel free to do so. I'd be happy to connect with you as well. And that's it from me. Again, thank you so much for being a part of this program. I'm so excited to work once more with mentors that have been a part of the program before, new mentors, and obviously the new fresh faces that are about to enter the workforce. So I wish you the absolute best. May it be a very fruitful and positive experience, like I mentioned. And if there's nothing else, ka kite, and thank you so much.